And preparing for Nature Vayamam, placing a ruler vertically in front of the eyes, opening the eyes, sliding the eyes to the top, one line to the bottom, continuing up and down. Next time the eyes approach the top, center, blink, and shut. Placing that ruler horizontally, opening the eyes, sliding the eyes to the right, one line to the left, continuing back and forth. Next time the eyes approach the right, center, blink, and shut. Allowing the eyes to soften to the skull, bringing those palms together, rubbing them together, getting lots of heat, lots of energy. And when you feel that heat, cup the palms over the eyes, taking the energy from the crown chakra, directing it down through the arms, forearms, palms, back into those eyes. And once that heat begins to dissipate, gently give the eyes, temples, cheeks, anywhere that might need a little extra touch or healing this evening. And when you are ready, go ahead and open the eyes, give the legs a little shake, and then pull them in and come over to all fours. And let's start with just a few cat and cows. So let's joint stack. So shoulders, elbows, wrist, hips right on top of the knees. Knees will line up with the ankles. Palms flat. Your choice. Pointer fingers or middle fingers parallel to each other. Or you can come on to fist. That would work as well. The next time you come through neutral, I want you to stay there. Now, you might need to have the bolster for this next part. We're just going to get into the back a little bit here. So if you need extra support, you know you need that, then you can line up the blocks like so, pressing them into the thighs. You can take the bolster on top. If you don't need this, don't use the setup. And then you walk it forward. The shin can be on the floor, or you can turn the forehead to the floor. You don't have to use the bolster. You don't have to use the blocks. You could use the blocks. You could use the bolster. You could use a blanket. Keep the thighs parallel to the walls or perpendicular to the floor. Keep the thighs parallel to each other if you can. Couple more breaths. Notice where this resistance is now. We might revisit this. Walk it back. Move that little setup out of the way, but have everything handy. Then you're going to drop down to the left forearm. I want the left forearm to be parallel to the long line of the mat. Come up to the right fingertips. Slide the right arm forward so the shoulder, elbow, wrist are in one line. Begin to lean into the right arm. If you need to, you can take the head and place it on blocks. A block, one block, two blocks, a bolster, a blanket. Try to keep lifted through that right arm. So try not to let it drop down in the elbow region. Same thing, so let's still focus on keeping the feet. So the knees and ankles should still be in one line. Don't let them pull and drop into each other. You can have tops of the feet on the floor or bottoms, or balls rather. Really high on those fingertips, the right fingertips. See if you can lean into the right a little bit more. Walk it back, and let's do the second side. High on those fingertips. Lean into the left now. Walk it back. Go ahead and use whatever setup you were using before, and then walk both hands forward. So if you were using the blocks and the bolster, or nothing, walk it back. Take the right hand to the middle and lift the left arm up. You can put the right hand on a block to give you a little more space as we go into this twist. Gaze can be down, straight ahead, or up. Try to keep the thighs perpendicular to the floor. Left hand down, right arm up. Thighs perpendicular. Release, press back, downward facing dog. Have your strap and bolster handy. You're going to take this bolster and you're going to place it on the left side of the mat so that it's parallel to the long side of the bolster is parallel to the long side of the mat. Then you're going to bring the right leg forward and you're going to drop down so now that back leg is supported on that bolster. I would like you on the ball of the foot. So let's try to have knee on top of the ankle in the front. You can stay high on the hands. You can put the hands on blocks. Let's have both hands on the inside. So you're resting on that bolster. Now, feel like, so you're on the ball of the foot. Feel like you're trying, the left foot, feel like you're trying to pull the left leg forward. At the same time, you're pressing through the right foot and you're trying to pull the right leg back. So you're trying to scissor the legs. That's going to make it a little more active. Now you can stay high or you can drop it low. Inside. Press through the ball of the foot. Ruthie, I'm going to just flip this up so you're on the... Yeah, nice. Now, maybe you want to stay here. That is perfectly fine. Maybe you want to add a little more. If you do, we have options here. So you can either lasso the foot with this long loop, and you can pull it forward, but it doesn't matter which hand. I'm going to let you guys decide. And then really flex through that foot. Nice. Yeah. Let's bring this up a little bit. Yeah, like that. Yeah. And then pull it forward. You need help, Phil. Yeah. We're trying to get into those muscles that walk us, that move us forward. Try to keep the right leg pulling in and try to keep the right knee on top of the ankle. So try not to let it drop out. Let's bring this so the knee is right on top of the ankle. So slide it forward a wee bit more, just a bit. Yep, there we go. Nice. Couple more breaths. Go ahead and release. Keep the strap handy. We might need it for the next side. Press back, downward facing dog. Slide the bolster to the second side of the mat. And start the second side whenever you are ready to. So before you go anywhere in it, once you get there, work on scissoring the legs. So the left foot is going to draw back and you're going to press through the ball of the right foot and you want to bring it forward. Hands on the inside. When and if you're ready, you can hook that foot and bring it forward. Noticing any differences, like always. Remember, the piriformis is the deepest muscle in the body, and it's second only to the heart for storing emotions and things, which would explain why it might be hard, right, to walk forward, to walk gracefully. Mm-hmm. The The psoas. Did I say piriformis?
The piriformis.
Yeah, psoas. Yes, psoas. Thank you. Yes, not the piriformis. Thank you, Lisa. Good thing we've got 2 PTs in here.
Where is the piriformis?
You and Ray discover that every morning.
Yeah.
That's funny that I said piriformis.
I know what you meant.
Lisa looked at me very quizzical, like, what?
I don't even know what it is.
And release. Press back, downward facing dog. Drop to the knees. Do 5 cat and cows. Place the setup there after you've done your 5 cat and cows. So place the setup there so that you can decide if you want to use the bolsters again, the blocks again, then walk the hands forward. Then walk it back. Scoot that out of the way. And we're going to lower all the way to the ground. So if you know, we're going to start in a makrasana, kind of a makrasana position. So if you know that you need a little support for the knees, go ahead and you'll take the bolster and you'll place it behind you so that the shins will actually be resting on the bolster. And then that'll just take pressure off the knees. You don't need it. You don't need it. Now, from here, so now you're in that position. Now, I want you to, so you're going to throw the right arm underneath the left arm. So you're going to lift up. Now, the right arm, if you have a little more range of movement, the right arm can be parallel to the short line of the mat. If you need a little more space, lower the right hand so it's more angled towards the hips. Now, take the left hand, just like you are doing makrasana, and rest the forehead on the arm. So you can adjust, so slide that arm around, that right arm, until you feel the place where it's going to really give you a lot of benefit. Try to keep the palm flat to the floor. I think you'll feel more. Do you feel that? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, and then, yeah, nice. Nice. Can you press the wrist into the floor? Can you spread the fingers so the palm is flat? You're going to slide the left arm out, slide the right arm back, lift up, and you're going to switch sides. Can you flatten the wrist, spread the fingers? Can you press the palm completely into the floor? Go ahead, release. Push back up to all fours. 5 cat and cows. Bring the setup back together underneath the body. Walk it forward again. Try to keep the feet parallel to each other. Balls of the feet or tops of the feet, that doesn't matter. Walk it back. Scoot that out of the way. Left hand to the middle. Bring the right arm up. Try to keep the thighs parallel to each other and perpendicular to the floor. So we're not trying to let anything drop. I'm going to slide you this way, Mason. Yeah, nice. Now I'm going to bring the hips, the thighs, so the thighs are, yeah. Switch the arms. Relax the arm. Do 3 cat and cows. Swing the legs to the right. Come into Paschimottanasana for 3 breaths. And then let's come to the back for a final relaxation. Is that light gonna bother you? It is. Okay. When you get to the back, if you need to use a bolster or a blanket underneath the knees or calves. Allowing the palms to face up. Making any adjustments so the body can become totally quiet, totally still. Now returning to the breath, directing it to the toes and the fingers, and gently begin to wiggle them. And then allowing the body to stretch and to move, as if for the first time today. And when the body is ready, rolling to the right or left, whichever side is beckoning. And when the body is ready, bringing it to a seated posture. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhagvavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all experience prosperity in everything. May all be free from suffering. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let me cherish those that God cherishes. Let me forgive those that God forgives. Let me serve those that God serves. Let me love those that God loves. Jai Shri Ram.